about the first question I would like to ask about, would you please make some brief introduction about how this book, Green Transportation, can make people understand the benefits and the conveniences about the green transportation can bring into our life?
I would almost rather talk about the book Green Transportation than to talk about green transportation as an abstract idea. So I will address myself to the book and not to the concept of green transportation.
Okay.
It's a very good book, and it comes at the right time. It comes at the right time for Taiwan because Taiwan is doing a very good job with civil engineering approaches that involve bridges, roads, high speeds, etc. But traveling in the city is different. And they're gradually modifying their approach. But this book will help planners and policymakers in Taiwan better understand what green transportation is all about.
Okay, thank you. Also, there's another question about how to increase the usage rate of the public transport and motorized transport.
The word public transport is used quickly and easily, and most people, when you say public transport, they think about buses. But there's a lot more to public transport than buses. Public transport includes really everything other than cars and motorcycles. So it includes walking, that's a form of transportation. It includes bicycles. It includes small bus systems. It includes large bus systems. It includes metros and rail. So it's quite a large gamut of activities, and each of them has a role to play. You can't replace cars with buses. That will never work. But you can create a better than car mobility system that is a green transport system, using and adjusting all of these kinds of movement to each other, so you have a nice plan.
Thank you. Also, you have been to Taiwan so many times. So what do you think, and what's your observation about the green transportation in Taiwan for these years?
My relationship with Taiwan is a little bit like the relationship of a young person who goes to the gym and he says hi to a girl who is working out, and who 2 years later ends up marrying her. In other words, it's an absolutely accidental relationship. And it started because Professor Chang and I had some ideas about a shared transport conference, about sharing transport in Kaohsiung 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So I've been coming here every year for 5 or 6 years, I don't remember how long. And I'm seeing change. Not as fast as I would like it, but that's inevitable. But you are moving in the right direction. But this book is going to help transportation planners and policymakers understand there are new ways of doing things. And that's where Professor Chang is making his big contribution.
Thank you. Also, I'd like to ask you about, please give Taiwan some advices about upgrading our transportation. What benefit do you think that the book can bring to Taiwan?
Yeah, I wouldn't really give any advice because I just don't know enough about it. I mean, I can give kinds of advice. For example, I would like to see the top speed of cars and all forms of transport lower. I would like to see less stop and start driving. In other words, more efficient ways of making the traffic move through the system. Obviously, more people traveling on shared transportation, public transportation, bicycles, walking. But this has to come from you, And again, Chang's book opens up a window, and on the other side of the window are new ideas. So this is the right time for Taiwan.
Thank for sharing. And thank you, Eric Britton, for our interview.
And thank you for being a marvelous interviewer.
Thank you.